Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd with your host Mark and Sam. Today we're going to talk about the last two films in the Matrix trilogy. We're going to be talking about Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. We're talking about another 5 episodes of Avatar Season 2 and what we've been up to since last time.
Get the comfy chair!
Hi Sam.
Hey.
Okay, so what have you been up to since last time?
Well, I've found a couple of games that really sort of interested me in the sort of interim between podcasts. But the first was, it's kind of an old MMO. It's called Guild Wars 2. It's old by sort of... It's old by PC? Yeah, it's all PC. It's old by computer standards. It's really just like 2012, I think.
Okay.
But, yeah, I got it pretty much on release, but I ended up not playing it until recently. Yeah. But it's much better than I remember it. They must have patched quite a bit of it.
What is it, a God game?
No, it's an MMO roleplay game.
Oh, okay, so first person, third person?
Third person, it's this weird cross between turn-based and I don't know what the technical name is for the other. Real time, sorry.
Real time. Is it, I've got a picture in my head that you're kind of looking at things from a 45-degree angle. Is it that game? Or am I dreaming?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what you're thinking of.
And you kind of, the turn base is kind of to do fights?
Yeah.
I think I might I haven't, but I might have seen someone else playing it or seen videos or something. Right, so it's fun, is it?
Yeah, it's a really fun game. It's got some quite interesting changes to sort of, like regular mythology. So like Minotaurs are like, instead of being just a man with a bull's head, it's like this giant gorilla thing.
Yeah. So are you one character and you stay as that character?
You get like 5 different characters that you can play as, and they can be whatever. So you get like 5 races and 8 classes. The classes are all sort of standard stuff. Like you got like a fighter, a necromancer, a magician.
Yeah. So once you pick, you stay that one?
Yeah, you stay that one, okay. Or you can delete the character and do a new one.
Sorry,
my current one's this, it's a race called the Char, which are like these giant tiger people with horns.
Sounds a bit like Dragon Age. In terms of its races, anyway. They got weird races like that. Okay, anyway. So, is it free to play?
No, it got, unlike most MMOs like WoW or something, it only costs you actually buying the game.
Yeah, sorry, I meant once you bought the game.
Once you bought the game, yeah, it's free to play.
Free to play, yeah. And it's good fun, is it?
Yeah, there's no like pressure of keep playing it because you're paying for it.
I always think that when you're paying monthly, you feel a certain pressure to keep playing, even if you don't really feel like it. Whereas at least if you just buy a game, and it's up to you then, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's a better model for me. It would be for me anyway. If I was paying so much a month, it'd annoy me if I didn't play, and I'd always feel like I should be playing.
Yeah.
Well, not always, but often. Yeah. Oh, okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I've been on the films mostly this week. I watched a film directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, and I've seen a few of his other films, and they're quite good. He made a good one with Robin Williams called World's Greatest Dad. It wasn't bad at all. And he made another one with some other people that are not that famous called God Bless America, which was a quite amazing film. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, this one was he entered the world of sort of found footage movies with this one. I think this is his 3rd film. It might be his 4th. It's called Willow Creek. It's basically, to sum it up, it's Blair Witch, but with Bigfoot instead of a witch. Now, he's a good filmmaker, so it's a real step up from most found footage, but it's just this really unfortunate thing that it pretty much uses exactly the same story and beats as Blair Witch. Which is really unfortunate. You know, you can't help but be reminded of Blair Witch if you've seen it. But there is one central sequence in it, which is about 15 minutes long, of essentially the 2 actors, who are good actors, stuck inside a tent while something weird is going on outside. And the thing is, that sounds boring, doesn't it? That sounds like that'll get old fast. Do you think?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It really works well. It's a really good sequence. And there's a very interesting little weird twist right at the end that gives the whole film a slightly different hue. But also, having said that, that ending point is a bit disappointing because I don't think these films ever quite pay off how you they're going to, or to the level of expectation they sort of build up. So the end was like both disappointing, but it made you start thinking about what had gone on before and what it was all about. So I'm a bit conflicted about it, to be honest. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll give it 3 out of 5. Okay, back to you.
Okay, I've been playing this indie game called Five Nights at Freddy's. No, you laugh. It's a horror game.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's the idea is that you as a player have been hired as like a security guard for this children's restaurant, kind of like
Yeah.
there's no real equivalent in the UK, but do you know what I mean when I say Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, kind of.
It's and they've got like animatronics that work.
Okay, yeah.
But the thing is, you get a phone call from the previous security guard, and he tells you that to make sure that the animatronics don't seize up because they're like really old, they leave them on in like a wandering mode during the night.
Yeah.
Now,
wow.
The problem with that is that they won't recognize, because it's after hours, they won't recognize a person as a person. No. They'll recognize them as a uncovered like endoskeleton for an animatronic.
Oh, okay.
So they find you, they'll stuff you in an animatronic.
So it's not supernatural, it's technology, bad technology.
Yeah.
Evil tech.
He goes on to say stuff like, that wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't full of wires and sharp bits of metal and all sorts of stuff. But the thing is, it's not like a roaming game. You don't like hide and stuff. You're stuck in one room and you have to keep an eye on these different animatronics as they wander about.
So it's more like a steady stream of tasks you have to do to stop things getting out of hand.
The thing is, you have a limited amount of power. It costs power to look at the security cameras, to close doors, and to turn lights on.
So what, are you stuck inside the suit then?
Yeah. No, you're not stuck inside a suit. You're stuck inside like a security room.
Okay.
There's 2 entrances either side of you. And there's like all the animatronics behave differently. Like there's a rabbit one which will only attack you from the left.
So it's kind of a part resource management and part things are going to jump scares. Is that kind of?
It's more creeping terror. It's only jump scares if you lose.
Okay.
But like the first time you sort of switch over to the animatronic stage and there's one missing, and all but one of the animatronics you never see like actually move. It's just like you'll flick to the room and they're not there. You'll flick to another and they'll be standing in the middle of the room.
Sounds like Weeping Angels.
Yeah, kind of. But this one other animatronic is a nightmare because he's like this. He's faulty even within the proper
game parameters.
Yeah, because
universe parameters.
Yeah, he's responsible for something only known as the bite of 87.
Right. Ooh.
And the guy calling you talking about it says it's surprising how long someone can live without their frontal lobe. But
nice. So is it on the PC or Xbox?
Yeah, it's just on PC. But this animatronic, he'll like every so often peek out from behind this curtain, and then after a while he'll just bum rush the control room. And he's the only one you see moving. And he'll just come like screaming down a corridor and stick his head in the door.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. My next one's another film. It's a film from 1985. A low-budget sci-fi called Enemy Mine. It's a film I've been meaning to revisit for ages. I saw it in the 80s and I really quite liked it. Though I didn't think it was a classic or anything, I just liked it. And it's kind of a sci-fi version of a film called Hell in the Pacific, Hell in the Pacific was a film about an American, like a Marine, and a Japanese soldier being stuck together on an island in the Pacific. Now, obviously, they're at war, but they have to realise they have to work together to both survive. And the whole film's about that. And it's Lee Marvin and Toshiro Mifune. Can you relate that? It's a great film. I haven't seen that in years. Anyway, this is a sci-fi version of that. And this is Dennis Quaid, who to this day still reminds me of Bill Paxton. Or rather, Bill Paxton reminds me of Dennis Quaid. And a black actor called Lou Gossett Jr., who hasn't been in that much, but he's a pretty good actor. One notable film I really like him from is Dolph Lundgren's The Punisher, actually. But in this, he's an alien, and he's made up like an alien, like a lizard man, and he talks really oddly, and he gives a really good performance. This is a really good performance. It's not a big action film. There is fighting and violence, but it's not that well choreographed. But it's more about their personal drama. They're at war. They have to... Basically, the planet starts getting bombarded while they're fighting, so they have to work together to both survive it. And from that point on, they sort of, start becoming friends and looking after each other. And the lizard guy, in fact, has a baby. Because they're from a race that can propagate, parthenogenesis or something. They can just generate new life. And so there's that aspect too. It's a really good film. It's a really nice film. 3 out of 5, solid. Right, back to you.
I'm done.
Okay, I've got a film that I think we both watched it, Frozen.
Yeah, I watched that too.
What do you think of it?
It was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
It was pretty entertaining. I don't think it was very memorable. It's not top tier or anything, but it was okay while you're watching it. It entertains. It's not as good as, say, Shrek or
Tangled. I'd say is the better
Tangled.
of the recent.
Yeah, I've seen Tangled, but again, I didn't remember that much. I like most recent Disney film that I really liked is probably The Frog and the Princess. Actually, I like that. But this is more. This is CG, not. Sorry, Frozen is CG. The one I just talked about is 2D. Yeah, it was good. What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10.
Oh, right, you really liked it. I'll give it 6. I thought it was okay while I was watching it. It didn't really strike that much with me. Didn't really invest emotionally in it or anything, but it was reasonably entertaining. I like the originality of the sort of storyline, actually, about sisters rather than boy-girl or all that business.
I liked how they kept calling one of the characters out for wanting to marry a guy she met.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't that a bit stupid? No, it's true love. You barely know.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. It did go back onto the more traditional lines towards the end, but it was good fun. Another film I watched is a film with... Well, it's a film by Terry Gilliam, Adventures of Baron Munchausen, which I've tried to watch several times before, but I always kind of stop watching after the 20-minute mark because it just feels like a lot of padding and nonsense. Even though it looks spectacular, the stuff going on is quite spectacular. It just doesn't engage me in the way that some of his other films do. Like, for example, I really like Time Bandits. But I gave it a go. I really kept watching it, and it just felt all a bit disconnected and meandering. But I thought, okay, let's just keep watching. Got through the first hour, and I was still finding it hard to get into it. But then, I don't know, something happened. It was actually a sequence with Robin Williams as, like, Man in the Moon. And this other an actress who was Mrs. Moon. And they were really good. And basically his head kept coming off, and his head, like, operated independently for his body. And it was like almost an analogy of how, the difference between the head and the body, bodily needs and the needs of your brain. This kind of thing. And that was kind of fun, and that started getting me into it. And then there was another section with Oliver Reed playing Vulcan, the god Vulcan. He was angry with stuff, and he was like married to Venus. It was like Uma Thurman, and it was kind of... I was really getting into it, and I really liked it by the end. So I'm glad I stuck with it. But it did take quite a bit of time to get into it. And if anyone out there's tried this as well, I got a feeling this film might be frequently the case for this film. It's worth giving it another go. It's very disconnected, but it's got full of brilliant stuff, and it's some great looking stuff in it. Apparently it's a trilogy, like a loose trilogy, with Time Bandits and Brazil, which was 2 of his other films. And I think Gilliam describes it as Time Bandits is about childhood, Brazil is about adulthood. Adventures of Baron Munchausen is about old age. And that really rings true to me. It did feel like that. I rather enjoyed it. I'll give it 7 out of 10. I've got a few more. You've got nothing. No,
Nothing.
okay, all right. I watched 300. I've been trying to. I want to try and hit 500 films this year. Last year I hit 365, but I'm trying for 500 this year. For my 300th film, I thought I'd try and watch 300 Rise of an Empire. You've seen 300, right?
Yeah.
This was not as good as 300, not at all. One of the problems was the main protagonist just didn't have the charisma of Gerard Butler at all.
I don't think anyone could have the same level of charisma without a shirt.
And I have to say the fighting sequences were really good, apart from the CGI blood, which was terrible, really terrible. But what really made this film worth watching was Eva Green was in it as the main antagonist. She was like the right-hand woman of Xerxes, and she was awesome. The rest of it, the action was good. The script was fairly weak in terms of they tried to give kind of the sort of one-liners Gerard Butler delivered, but they just weren't up to the same level. Gerard Butler,
No, this is
in a league
Spartans
with
then.
that. Yeah. Well, they tried to be a bit like that, but it just didn't work. Just Eva Green was really good in this. This is the film and some films I don't like as much. I didn't really like her the first time I saw her as Vesper, say, in Casino Royale. Now, I like it more. I've seen it since, and I liked her more the second time. But in this, and I've seen her in, say, Dark Shadows, and she was all right. But in this, I thought she was brilliant. Really, she was a badass. She had just exuded charisma, and she was an Avenger. She'd been treated terribly by the Greeks, so you could totally buy into her story, why she, was fighting against the Greeks, even though she was Greek herself. In fact, I give this 7 out of 10, but 4 of those are for Eva Green. That's how much she impacted this film for me. So it's quite something for me. Then I watched a bit of fluff, kind of a musical called Earth Girls Are Easy, which was made in the late 80s. It was a mess of a film, but it did have Gina Davis as the central sort of female lead, and it was 3 aliens, and one of them was Jim Carrey before he was famous, and he was quite cool. But one of the others was Jeff Goldblum. And he was really good. Do you like Jeff Goldblum?
He's okay sometimes, but
He didn't have much of a speaking part in this, and he was really good in this. He came across as quite cool in this. Not in a geeky, what's his name? Ian, in Jurassic Park, how he was cool but geeky. In this, he's just cool. It's very late 80s. It was fun. There was lots of silly songs. One of my favourite songs was a goofy song called I'm a Blonde, where this girl was singing about how now she's a blonde, she doesn't have to learn to read or get a job and all of this. It's kind of fun. Bit B-52-ish, that particular song felt like. It was alright. 6 out of 10, maybe 5. Sorry, mate, I've got way more than I thought I had. I've got 3 more films, but I'll shoot through these. I watched a film I've been meaning to watch for years. A horror kind of minor classic called Phantasm. Have you heard of this one?
yeah.
Late 70s. Its main antagonist is like this tall, imposing old man and he's referred to as the tall man in this. But it isn't your usual horror film because it involves other dimensions and people being shrunk down to midget size, so they're more dense, so they can go into these other dimensions and work for this guy. So it's kind of a bit Lovecraftian in that sense. Really great music, really weird, unusual film. It definitely had an influence on Nightmare on Elm Street because the dream sequences in it, and some of the shots look like they were completely copied in Nightmare on Elm Street. And I wasn't aware of that. It was kind of cool. 8 out of 10, that one. Next one was Jay and Silent Bob's Super Groovy Cartoon Movie. I thought I'd give it a go. I watched it. 15 minutes in, I was about to turn it off because it would just seem to be 15 minutes of Jay doing his stuff. Now, I don't mind Jay doing his stuff, but I'm not going to sit and watch an hour of Jay doing his stuff. I had enough of it by 15 minutes. But then the story kicked in and it became a Blunt Man and Chronic sort of goofy, superhero cartoon. not very well animated. The dialogue is what makes it. It's Kevin Smith, so the dialogue makes it. It was fine, but it was extremely crude. This is definitely not something for kids. I wouldn't even watch it. I'd say it's not suitable for anyone under 16 at all. Definitely not. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. And 6 out of 10. Last film was one I watched today. Film I watched many years ago, saw for the first time, and it's never, as far as I know, never been out on DVD. It's never been out on, I don't even think it's been out on video. And it was a film called Grim Prairie Tales, right? Which, get this, as a central premise, is Brad Dourif, Worm Tongue, and James Earl Jones as two guys in the Old West, just sitting around a campfire. They don't know each other. James Earl Jones sort of blunders into his camp and just imposes himself. But they start telling each other sort of horror stories. And so it's an anthology film of horror western stories. And a couple of stories are really good, and a couple of them are cursory. But what really makes the film good is them two just talking. There's something great about James Earl Jones and Brad Dourif just talking around a campfire. Great premise. Really enjoyed it though. It wasn't very scary or anything. It was just fun to watch these two. Give it 6 out of 10. Okay, that's me done. God. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and you told me to be brief about my games before.
I tried to be brief about each of those films, but I've just seen a lot. Okay, well, let's move. What should we do next? Should we do Kaiju or Avatar?
Let's do Avatar.
Okay, here we go. Psycho Dad.
Who's that Who's the man when you hit your gun? Who's the man who kills for fun? Psycho Dad. Psycho Dad, took the gun, but he loves his son.
Okay, so we watched episodes 11 to 15 of season 2 of Avatar. If you want to go back and listen to our last 2 podcasts, we've done 1 to 10 over those 2. So this one gets us to 15 out. Now, 10 finished with Appa disappearing and then being stuck in the desert. So do you want to...
Yeah.
The next one was called The Desert. Do you want to fill in?
Okay, so it opens with them being stuck in the desert straight after they find out Appa's been taken. And Aang's... He's being a bit broody throughout this entire
teenager,
thing.
Eh?
Yeah. He's basically become Kevin the teenager. And... This episode's not really much about Aang and that sort of gang. It's more about, it's kind of world building with Iroh and Zuko and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it is. They
met up with part of Iroh's old secret society.
That's
called the
right.
White Lotus.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot what it was called. And they also don't encounter the guys that are hunting that were implied by Toast's father.
Yeah.
Too.
And they sort of
basically
trick them.
They run out of water as well, don't they? They haven't really got much water.
And Sokka's really funny this episode because he drinks some juice from a cactus. He thinks it's water. He drinks it and starts hallucinating.
Yeah, that is quite fun. He's fun when he gets like that, and he often gets like that, frankly.
Yeah.
And in this one where they find out that is this one where they encounter the Sandbenders? Or is that?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
It's this and the previous episode, the library with the Sandbenders.
Yeah.
I think that's actually it for Sandbenders for like the rest of the series. They've not appeared in Legend of Korra yet. So.
Right, okay, but there is quite a confrontation, isn't there, with the Sandbenders, where the Avatar state... Well, basically...
He goes into the Avatar state out of rage because one of them is recognised as taking part in the kidnapping of Appa.
Yeah, and he realises Appa's been muzzled, and I think that cracks him, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah.
But Katara calms him down.
Yeah, with a hug.
Really cool sequence that was.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was really interesting bit of world building, even though he was acting a bit surly and a bit of uncharacteristic for Aang, really.
He decapitated an animal. at one point
Yeah,
in the episode.
it was a bit grim, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I have to say, all 5 of these episodes I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen an episode so far of season 2 I haven't enjoyed, actually. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next episode, they get past the desert, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, this one's called The Serpent's Pass.
And it opens up with them trying to cross a... well, their first plan is to cross this thin strip of land called the Serpent's Pass.
Yeah.
But then they find out there's like a ferry going across.
Yeah.
And they meet back up with Suki, who was the girl from Kyoshi Island.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. But this couple and a daughter, I assume it's a daughter, they find it's a pregnant couple with a daughter, and they lose their tickets to get on this ferry. And Aang says he's going to take them across the Serpent's Pass. So it's all about them sort of...
Yeah, Aang and crew get a ticket, don't they?
Yeah.
But, Aang won't let this couple get left behind, basically.
Yeah.
Which is more like Aang.
Yeah. He is coming back from gloom and doom.
Yes. Is it before this they fight the giant dragon thing?
It's during this trip they fight the...
Oh, Toph's got some nice moves in this, isn't she? Yes.
They're like water bending because a bit of the path goes up underwater.
Yeah.
And they, Aang and Katara are water bending like an air bubble to keep everyone across. And then this giant sea dragon attacks and Toph immediately just raises the platform.
So they can stay above water. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I like this one. It was kind of cool.
This episode's really where the other benders started to show off a bit more. Like Katara goes like skating about on this ice, this small like patch of ice.
They're kind of working together. Well, not together. They're working independently, but they're working to a common goal.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like this one.
And there's some really cool bits sort of referencing past events. Like they have a bit of romantic dialogue between Suki and Sokka.
Yep.
And then it's kind of cool because it's always got the moon in the background. Do you not get the...
No.
The Sokka's previous girlfriend, the Yue.
Oh,
she was
yes.
the one that got absorbed by the moon.
Yes, of course. Forgot about that. End of season 1, yes.
Yeah. And he's Sokka's constantly like saying stuff to try and keep Suki out of trouble. It's like, hey, you shouldn't sleep over there, that we don't know how steady the rocks is.
Yeah.
And then he like panics at a spider sort of thing.
Yeah. He's funny. And that episode 13, they end this episode realising the Fire Nation are about to attack the city with a drill, don't they?
Yeah, there's this massive drill tank thing.
It's enormous. Yeah, I mean, it's never really stated, but the Fire Nation really seem to be like the engineers and metal workers, don't they?
Yeah. And
this episode called The Drill. So basically, this is a mission, kind of a mission episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're trying to stop the drill, fighting and stuff. I like Toph's... They've got a nice through line on Toph. She doesn't like the sand because she can't see, and she won't go inside anything metal because it's almost like she can't see inside that.
Well, no, it's because she can't bend in there.
Yeah, she doesn't like it at all. She feels too constrained, so she won't go in it. But Aang, Katara
and Sokka
get inside, and they start trying to cut through one of the major beams, don't they? Using their water bending, which takes ages, but they do actually cut.
They
through
figure out a way to break the drill by breaking down key points on the drill.
Yes,
and then smashing it with a rock.
Yeah, and then there's some cool stuff later where like the mud starts coming through, which means it can be both water bended and earth bended because it's a combination of the two, which is kind of cool. I really like this.
There's some pretty cool fighting with Azula.
Yeah,
and she shows off her blue fire bending, which I don't think we've actually seen yet. She's more been sort of like lightning bending.
Yeah, I thought it was lightning. You told me it was blue fire. I thought it was meant to be lightning.
No, it's just straight up blue fire.
Yeah, it does look different. He isn't lying. And that was there's a cool action episode. There was also a bit, I think, near the end where
Zuko and Jet met up with Zuko and Iroh met up with this past character called Jet, who was like a freedom fighter.
Yeah.
And he spotted them firebending slightly.
Yes. And then the next episode, they're at they've diverted the drill attack, haven't they? So they're in the city. So then they realise they want to try and get the news about the eclipse to the king, don't they? The Earth King.
Yeah.
But they're kind of constantly put up by this weird androidy behaving
Judy
guy called Judy. Yeah. She won't.
It's not Judy. It's Judy.
Judy.
Two separate parts of the name, sort of thing.
So basically, they can't get anywhere. They can't get to the Earth King.
She's blocking them at every sort of way. If they go and ask someone, she's like in the background, sort of shaking her head, and the person will like they'll block that. She blocks anything they try to do, really.
And there's also a suspicion someone there knows something about Appa, isn't there?
Yeah. No, he straight up says that he knows something about Long Feng, who's voiced by Clancy Brown, the Kurgan.
Awesome.
It's really threatening. He's the head of this organization called the Dai Li, which is a secret police.
Yeah. And who does he catches? Is it Jet and hypnotizes?
Yeah, he catches. Jet tries to force Zuko into firebending.
Yeah.
With a sword fight, and he ends up getting arrested, and the Dai Li go and hypnotize him into thinking that there's no war.
That was an odd little sequence, wasn't it? It really wasn't part of the
It
main
does come
story.
back to it.
Ah, okay. I thought it might, because there's usually nothing pointless in any of these stories. Or if there is, if it's character building, it hasn't got like this kind of payoff at all, it's just for that. And then we come to the 15th episode, which I really liked. This was lots of little sort of sub-stories about each of the characters, wasn't it?
It was called The Tales of Ba Sing Se.
So, and we got about 5 or 6 of them. We got one with Toph and Katara.
The Tale of Toph and Katara, The Tale of Iroh, then there's Aang, Sokka, Zuko, and Momo.
Yeah, so Toph and Katara, it's Toph. Well, basically, Katara takes Toph out to be pampered, doesn't she?
Yeah. There's some really funny bits where they're like trying to scrub her feet and she like kicks them through the wall.
She specifically says, as long as they don't touch my feet, and the next shot is they're
like 3 people holding her and one like with a pan scourer sort of looking thing scraping at her feet. And she kicks them through a wall.
And these horrible girls insult her anyway. But, Toph gets around.
Toph chucks him in a river.
Yeah.
The Katara bends the river to wash him away.
Yeah. And then we get the Tale of Iroh, which is my favourite one. I thought it was really good. Basically, he's helping people out, isn't he?
He's wandering around sort of buying stuff like a basket, he buys a lute. I think it's a lute.
He cheers up a little kid with a snotty nose.
Yeah. And he starts he helps this mugger who was planning to, but he'd basically said that he was this was his first time doing it. Iroh actually taught him how to properly mug someone. It was really weird.
Yeah, but then he sort of persuaded him that's not the way it should be. It was kind of cool. But then he laments. He remembers his son.
He sets up a small memorial
and
for his son, Luten.
Which I thought was really touching, actually.
Yeah.
Then there's a bizarre story with Aang, where he basically helps a zookeeper who's, his zoo's run down to establish something outside the city.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's an odd story. Then there's Sokka. I like this one too. For some reason, he gets into like a haiku
he gets
rap contest.
He gets kicked through a window by a horse bird thing.
Yeah.
And he sort of ends up and accidentally gets involved in a haiku club.
Yeah.
And he starts rapping. And then accidentally messes it up and gets chucked out.
Yeah, I really like that sequence. And then I think the last one was Momo.
No, there's 2 more. There's the Tale of Zuko, where...
I can't remember this.
It opens with him like talking to Iroh, saying, "I think we've been swindled. This girl keeps coming here every day."
Oh yeah, yeah. Iroh knows better, doesn't he? Really?
Yeah,
it's kind of a date thing, isn't it? But it doesn't really work out. And then Momo gets chased by these weird cat things. and he gets involved in Dancing Monkey Show.
Yeah, that was really weird. But he ends up helping these cat for like a world that doesn't have like a single animal type sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're always like platypus bear or goat gorilla,
Yeah.
or rabbaroo sort of thing. It's just weird to see cats.
Well, they look to me like almost like half cats, half baboon. They look really muscular cats, basically.
Yeah.
Or half monkey or something.
But yeah, these cats led Momo to a giant footprint of Appa.
Ah, yeah. I didn't quite get it. You had to explain to me. I thought, what's that? You had to explain it's Appa's footprint. Yeah. Cool. These 15 were really good.
These 5.
These 5 were really good. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this particular series resolves. So we'll be watching the last 5 in the next show. Okay. I think it's time for a bit of kaiju.
Yeah.
Bit of Godzilla, indeed. So let's have a break and we'll get right on to Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Okay, next one we're looking at then is Godzilla vs. Sea Monster, which features Ebirah Horror of the Deep, is it?
Yeah. That's one of the titles for us.
How many other titles? Have you got any
There's
others?
Ebirah Horror of the Deep, Godzilla, Ebirah, and Mothra, Big Duel in the South Seas. Ebirah Terror of the Deep, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. There's a lot.
Actually, Godzilla vs. Sea Monster is probably the best title for this because it really is a lot of Godzilla and a bit of a Ebirah kind of thing. What do you think of this one?
It was pretty good.
It did take forever I'll start again. There was a really quite good sequence and quite nasty sequence right at the beginning with Ebirah in a fishing boat because he's got that claw very, very pointy and dangerous looking.
Yeah.
But it did take forever to get to actually the fighting sequence. But actually, once it started, you felt fine with it. You know what I mean? It's not like you felt, I waited an hour for this. It was a pretty good sequence.
It was very brutal.
I haven't really got much to say about it other than, like you just said, it was really, really brutal. Ebirah gets proper messed up.
Yeah.
Should we spoil it? Well, let's face it, this film's
from the
nearly
60s.
50 years old, so let's just spoil it. Basically, Godzilla pretty much rips off his claws.
Yeah, both claws.
Yeah, nasty. It reminded me a bit of Godzilla, the most recent one.
Yeah, where he pulls off the head.
Messes him up. So Ebirah's goes wandering off without his claws, basically.
Scuttles. I know Ebirah's in later ones, but it's stock footage of this one.
Okay.
And he's in the most recent one, but it's like a few seconds of fighting Godzilla. And the other time he's in it, he's beaten by regular humans. So,
well, I can see Ebirah coming back, in the new Godzilla as being quite an awesome adversary, if done in the right way. This one wasn't. And Mothra was kind of not really part.
Mothra was just sort of there.
We got the characters of the two fairies. It wasn't the woman who played him. It wasn't the Peanuts. It was 2 other women who were playing the fairies. But Mothra really didn't do much apart from stand around. Except right at the end, he saved the day, didn't he? He carried people to safety, if you like. There was a really goofy bit where Godzilla's been fighting and he actually taps the side of his nose when this giant bird who has nothing to do with anything attacks him, and he takes it out in a quite spectacular fashion, doesn't it? It's taking him suddenly. But the old radioactive breath, it goes down like a paper kite that's been doused in petrol. Yeah. Pretty much. It's kind of fun. It was decent enough. I wasn't bored with this one like I have been in with the Gamera one we saw recently. It was fairly okay. I'm glad I saw it. Didn't think that much of it. It was pretty throwaway, really. It wasn't. The thing is, it needed to be way more goofy than it was to be sustain it the way the sort of King Ghidorah one.
The thing is, it wasn't meant to be a Godzilla film at first.
I didn't. Oh yeah, you told me this.
It was originally going to be a King Kong film. That's why Godzilla is woken up about midway through with lightning. Whereas in previous films, he'd hated lightning.
And there was this sequence where he was like holding onto a woman, like King Kong does.
Yeah.
Which is really un-Godzilla-like, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That was a bit odd. Yeah, and it was okay. I really don't have much more to say about this particular one.
Yeah.
Ebirah.
There's a funny bit
good.
where
The models
Godzilla
are good.
dive bombed into the sea
Yes.
as the island goes nuclear. It's all going wrong. Godzilla just runs off the edge of a cliff and dive bombs into the sea.
Yeah, that was cool. That reminded me a bit of War of the Gargantuas, actually.
Yeah.
It was that kind of thing, wasn't it? What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it about a 6.
Yeah, I'll give it 6 too. Yeah, that sounds like a perfectly good score for that one. And I think next time we're planning probably Son of Godzilla.
Yeah. Either that or Gamera versus Gyaos.
One of those. We'll be doing one of either of those. Okay then. Right, let's get on to our main 2 movies. Let's just get on with it.
Are you tired of film podcasts where the hosts exist in a constant blissful state of agreement?
I mean, the main characters are 2 of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
Well, you're in luck. Let me introduce you to Chinstroker and Punter. One is an ex-film student with a penchant for David Lynch and art cinema. The other is a man on the street. Listen in perplexed and horrified terror as we tear apart one film a week.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just that's the 3rd time though. I mean, is this on?
You can find us at chinstrokerversuspunter.podomatic.com. So come and share the vitriol.
We are not here to please you. Instead, we are 2 guys from faraway land of Finland,
Talking about things like
superhero-like animals,
force porn,
space travel and science,
getting old.
and general geekery.
And you can listen to us and find us at wearenotheretoPleaseYou.blogspot.fi.
And beardsandbullshit.com/WANHTPY.
We of course are also on Facebook, iTunes and Stitcher.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it. Get on with it.
Okay, so last week we watched Matrix and Animatrix. This time we've watched Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolution. Matrix Reloaded, 2003. I'll tell you what my first note on this movie says is Basil Exposition should have been a main character in this.
Basil Exposition.
Yeah, he's a character in Austin Powers. Basically, there was loads of exposition, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of a mix of awesome action with
Really tedious exposition, though I think presented in kind of a cool way.
well, the only bit I really
the
liked.
bit with the architects, I think that they presented it really well. It was
You
just
like
still
that?
boring.
It was kind of cool. Yeah, you're right. What was going on behind him was cool, but the actual talking was terrible. The only character that I like giving exposition in these movies is the Oracle.
Yeah.
Other than that, I find him. I'll read my notes again. This has got some of the stodgiest, claptrappiest exposition I've heard outside of a parliamentary debate on farming quotas. That's what I put. And I've also put in capital letters, uppercase, show, don't tell.
Yeah, that's pretty much this entire film.
The Wachowskis, the thing is, they're so awesome at showing stuff. You know, I'm not just talking about the Matrix, like Speed Racer. They're really good at showing stuff, but they insist on talking.
Well, I guess with a lot of this stuff, there was no real way to show it.
Well, they did have to explain it was all this, that, and the other, and there was a road program, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And even if it does, you could have done it in about a tenth of the words. Honestly. It was like, why can't you do this because of this? Why can't you do this because of that? Please stop it. It was a case of sitting there and thinking,
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it. Get on with it.
But you like the Oracle. You like the...
Yeah, I think it was kind of
architects.
cool the way he was just sort of sitting there. He was definitely completely in control when he was talking.
Yeah.
Mainly because no one understood what he was talking about. But
I kind of like some. I like the casting. I like the Merovingian, and I kind of like the architect in terms of casting. I just did not like what they had to say. In fact, I actually quite like the Merovingian scenes generally, even the talking stuff. Let's talk about some of the action sequences. Let's up the. Let's cheer ourselves up a bit. Talk about some of the action. There was quite a few action sequences in this. The main one being the highway one.
yeah, the 20-minute highway sequence.
That was really cool with the ghosts and stuff. Really,
and the katana.
Still stands up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not boring at all. I mean, some of it looked a little CGI, especially I think Morpheus hanging off the side of a truck.
Yeah.
No, not when it was hanging off by the katana.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun watching Neo flying there like Superman to try and get there in time.
Yeah. I still prefer the fight with all the Smiths, honestly.
Yes. Yeah, that was
where he's
cool.
like, gets a stick and he just starts spinning around.
The whole Smith thing of possessing people was very cool.
Yeah.
And I just like the fact Smith's a rogue program now and he's doing his own thing. I also really like the thing about, ghosts and vampires and werewolves are rogue programs.
Yeah.
And they're employed by the Merovingian because they've got special qualities and stuff like that. And I like the little insert from Bride to Dracula when... Was it Persephone
I
who
think her name
shot
is.
silver bullets into their heads?
She saw one of them was Silver Bullet.
Oh, yeah.
And then told the other one to tell her husband.
Yeah. Persephone, she was good too. And I also like the fact when old Neo stopping all the bullets. Just putting his hand out and stopping the bullets. That was cool. So there was some great stuff in this film. It was just lots of tosh. To be honest, if you could have cut half an hour of the exposition out of this, I'd probably give it 9 out of 10. Honestly, I really liked it that much. But the fact is, with all the terrible exposition in it, I still give it 7 out of 10, personally. But it was
I'm about the same.
Do you feel it's...
Maybe a little bit higher, but only a little.
And I have to say, watching both these films, I couldn't help but wonder, if a really talented editor, got a pair of scissors on this and put it back together again, cutting out as much of the exposition as possible, would we have an absolutely dynamite kick-ass set of movies? I don't know. It's a shame it got in there.
I think with Reloaded, yes, it's possible, but with Revelations, not so much.
Well, I think Revolutions is going to be easy to... Should we get on to Revolutions?
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Revelations, I think it's called.
No, Revolutions. It was my date on it's got the same year. I thought they were released in different years, but maybe it was one was released at the beginning of summer, one was released at the end. I can't remember. And frankly, the first hour of this film, apart from one gunfight, which was really a recap of the replay of a gunfight from The Matrix, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just a retread of the lobby gunfight.
Yeah. But even so, it was a good gunfight.
Yeah, good gunfight. Boring as sin.
Yeah, it was the first hour, apart from that gunfight, was terrible.
It was Neo sitting in a train station
talking
with a little girl, talking with this other program.
And then Trinity and Morpheus have to go talk to the Merovingian to persuade him to let them go and get Neo. See, this is why I think this film will be easier to edit, because frankly, you can cut out that first hour.
No, but the thing is, there's like a whole lot of stuff where it's setting up like the Oracle when later in the film where she's like doing stuff. The little girl's there. You got to explain where the little girl's from.
I was thinking about this. That would make it difficult.
And she's at the ending.
Unless you just lose all the Oracle. But then, you're right.
But then Smith makes no sense. How's he so powerful?
Yes,
sort of thing.
You're right. It'd be quite hard to... honestly, based on the first hour... I think this is the first... In fact, I looked at the clock when things started going... It picked up, which is the second hour of the movie, let's say. But it was actually 1 hour, 2 minutes, 58 seconds. That's how much I was bored waiting for something to happen. I'll give this first half, I don't know, 1 out of 10. It was really bad.
Yeah.
However, we can get to the second half of the movie, which was a solid hour or so. This was great.
Yeah.
It was really fantastic.
I think it was this and maybe Power Rangers as well that kicked off my liking of giant robots.
Giant robots. For some reason I logged Transformers when you said Power Rangers. But yeah, Power Rangers was fine.
No, Transformers 2. The cartoon, not the film.
Oh, yeah, fine. Yeah, that's fine. Couldn't give that for the film. This was really exciting. I mean, the whole fight with the drone, the Sentinels. And the sort of walking power loaders.
I think they're called PSUs.
Yeah, it was kind of like the power loaders from Alien, wasn't it? But with guns as arms.
Yeah.
And quite a bit bigger.
No, they have hands, but...
Yeah, they do, you're right.
APUs, sorry.
Yeah, and there's also guys running around with like Ghostbusters guns.
Yeah, the arc welders, I think they're called.
And all the while, what's her name? Niobe piloting their ship through really terrible paths, really difficult to navigate places to try and get to the centre of the attack so she can let off an EMP. Really cool very Star Warsy.
Yeah.
Is how it felt, but it worked really well.
Yeah.
And also liked, Neo going off to see the head of the machines.
Yeah,
talk to the Wizard of Oz, basically.
Literally called the Deus Ex Machina.
No, he wasn't.
That's the name of the character.
Wow. Okay. But then he has to face off against Agent Smith again, which is another cool fight. But it did get a bit too much. There's two extremely powerful beings hitting each other and no one's really winning, kind of thing. But it was still fun to watch. Really liked the last hour of this, and it even resolved nicely. I thought the final sort of scene with the Oracle and the Architect talking worked well.
I found it kind of depressing that we finished this trilogy on 3 characters that weren't in the original. Because the Oracle changed actress because the original died, and they just sort of go, I experienced something truly terrible and it changed me.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it said she'd taken on another face or something. I assumed she'd done something like Agent Smith done and absorbed someone else, or I don't know. Anyway, I still thought it was a decent ending though. And now, all right, I've already said the first hour to me was 1 out of... Let's see if we can do it for you this way. What would you give the first hour out of 10?
2, 3, because while it's bad, it's necessary.
Well, I'll give it 1, right? Yeah. What about the second hour? What would you give that?
8, 9 sort of thing.
I'll give it 9. Now, if you add that up, that means my total score is 5 out of 10. And it doesn't express that it's an average film. It means the first hour was terrible. The second hour was great for me. What would you give it out of 10 overall?
5. Yeah, 5. That's really...
So really, it's in reverse order. We like The Matrix best. I can't remember what we rated the Animatrix. It's probably about the same as Reloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did we say? Did we give a score to Reloaded? Can't remember now.
Yeah, I think we said 7s.
So, and that's roughly what we gave to the Animatrix, isn't it? And then the Revolutions is 5. Not a great ending. Well, the whole film is not a great ending. The last hour's pretty damn good. It's an interesting universe. Would you like to see a remake of this?
Possibly.
I think it could be really good. The thing is, The Matrix could lend itself to a whole series. It could lend itself to a TV series. I can see it. You know what I mean? It certainly lent itself to games going forward.
Yeah, there was. I think. Sorry, I just knocked something off the desk. But I think there's like 3 separate games. Enter the Matrix, which was like
a side core, wasn't it?
No, it's like
between 1 and 2.
It's between 1 and 2. It actually continues from Flight of the Osiris.
Oh, cool!
It's Niobe recovering the information that they drop in the postbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Matrix Path of Neo, which is just a goofy retelling of the last film, I think. Because he fights a giant Agent Smith made out of buildings.
No,
even
that
takes,
sounds a bit Homer Simpson.
yeah, it even takes like a giant set of sunglasses from a billboard and puts them on.
No,
He does.
cheesy.
And then there's Matrix Online, which is like sets a few years after
Right.
the events, and it's like really goofy because
Is that an open world thing?
yes, it's an MMO game.
The Matrix.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's that. I never played an MMO, so Okay then. That kind of winds it up for this week. So next week we are planning to watch some DC animated movies. We got in line Assault on Arkham with Batman, Superman vs. Elite, and what was the other one? Flash.
Flashpoint Paradox.
With the Flash. So we got those three. We're going to watch Son of Godzilla, or what was it? Gamera
versus Gyaos.
Depends what we can get hold of and what we feel like. And we'll also be finishing up Avatar Season 2. We'll be finishing that. I'm really looking forward to that, actually. So, I have to do a few things I have to do. So let's think. Stitcher. We're on Stitcher now. So, you can listen to us through Stitcher. If you want to send us any feedback, it's probably easiest to do it through Facebook if you want to. So that's facebook.com/the good, the bad, and the odd, with each word separated by a full stop. But if you really want to send an email, info@thegoodthebadandtheodd.com. A few other things I've got planned between this podcast and our next main podcast. I'll be doing our next Kingology episode, which I'll be talking about the Night Shift, which is a set of short stories by Stephen King. Cool set of stories. And I might also be releasing one where I'm talking about the last 10 episodes of Star Trek the Animated Series, but that's kind of one of my side projects. We'll be releasing a fair few things this next week, I reckon. So anyway, bye from me.
Bye.